Burgin's 5 stars, welcome back. We got a special week this week. Our producer, Eric, officially in Pensacola.
No. Orange Beach.
Why did I say Pensacola?
He used to live in Pensacola for a moment, but no, he just moved to Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area.
Orange Beach, but yes, he made his special suggestion for a 5-star Burgin this week. And it was worst draft picks. And I hate to say it, Eric, he gave me 2 suggestions. They didn't make my list because there was worse draft picks than what he said. he thought Adam Morrison going 3rd to the Bobcats. He's a big Charlotte guy.
Yeah.
It was one of them. And then when they didn't, the Hornets traded away Kobe. But they did actually make the right draft pick. They just made a bad trade. So that's why I didn't have it on my list. Number 5, 2009 draft picks. The T-Wolves select Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio back-to-back at number 6 and 7. Guess who went 8th, Chance?
Who?
Steph Curry. So not only did they have 1 shot, they had 2 shots to pick Steph Curry, and they missed out on both and went with 2 guys. Rubio had a decent career. Johnny Flynn played only 2 or 3 years, and you miss out with maybe one of the top 10 players of all time. That's a bad mistake. Number 4, it's Kwame Brown. The Wizards, he was supposed to go to Florida. This is probably Michael Jordan's worst pick all time. He takes Kwame number 1, does not have a good NBA career, traded all over. There were some really good players, Joe Johnson, the players like that went behind him in 2001. So that's why I got him on my list. Number 3, this is maybe goes down as one of the worst draft picks of all time, Anthony Bennett. He was taken number 1 overall by the Cavs from UNLV. Everybody thought he was going to be the next LeBron for the franchise. The only reason this is not number 1 on my list is because there really weren't many good players drafted behind him. This is one of the few drafts where there has been no top 10 players that have made All-NBA. There's only been one of them that have made an All-Star team. That's pretty crazy, Chance. Not a single top 10 pick made an All-NBA, and only one of them has made an All-Star team. So
shows a lot of people's hopes for people aren't always what they plan out to be.
But you know who was number 15th pick in the draft?
Who?
Giannis. Going back, he would definitely be number 1 pick in the draft.
Well, maybe
and Rudy Gobert was in that draft, so a lot of people actually, a lot of foreign...
I was about to say, where did Giannis get drafted from?
Greece.
Exactly.
So
the foreign players are never going to be the top tiers. I think.
Well, they have lately now because of I think people making the mistakes. There was 3 French guys last year that went like top 4 or 5. So
what I was trying to mean more of with the NBA being an American product.
Yeah.
They're going to try to keep Americans at the top.
Yeah.
And then they'll pick their better foreign players.
Number 2, Greg Oden. Everybody remembers Greg Oden at Ohio State. How dominant of a player he was. They all thought he was going to be the best big man center, pretty much bringing back the big man centers of the days of Hakeem and Shaq. Big knee problems. Why he is number 1 is because number 2 was Kevin Durant. You could have taken Kevin Durant at number 1. You took Greg Oden instead. Kevin Durant comes to be one of the best players of all time. Greg Oden doesn't really ever play. So that to me is why that's number 2, and missing out on Kevin Durant with the Trailblazers, but it wasn't the worst Trailblazers mistake they ever made. You know what number 1 is, Chance?
Who?
Sam Bowie, 1984. Akeem Olajuwon went first to the Houston Rockets. Obviously, they won 2 championships. Akeem was a great player, one of the best players of all time. Number 2, Sam Bowie to the Portland Trailblazers. Guess who the 3rd pick in that draft was?
Who was that?
Michael Jordan. So they literally have, in a 20-year span, missed out on Kevin Durant and Michael Jordan by taking 2 big guys who were injury-prone. That Trailblazers, I'm sorry, Eric, the Bobcats or Hornets are not the worst. It's the Trailblazers, by far, have made the worst picks. So that's my top 5 on worst draft picks.
Well, that is Portland through and through, right?
Through and through. Here is one of my favorite topics. I don't know how I thought about it, and maybe it was the Canelo Crawford thing, but this is one of my favorite 5 stars I've ever done.
Can we go back? Can we bring back the Supersonics and get rid of the Trailblazers?
They're Oklahoma City Thunder now, and they've obviously just won championships. But yeah, I love the Sonics too. All right, this is probably one of my favorite 5 stars ever. Okay, this is top sports that took over another sport.
Gotcha.
Okay, so left the other one in the dust. That was maybe a more popular sport for our parents' generation, grandparents, whatever. Honorable mention, these are not really sports. These are type of sports. And one in the NBA. I think there's one point that everybody thought the And One tour was going to take over the NBA of how it goes.
We did in the 90s.
They did a little bit. And the other two are just travel ball. Travel ball to rec baseball and AAU to rec basketball. Those have taken over so much of the country of, it's not a sport in particular, but just how kids are being developed now. I've been a big part of it. I've completely changed a lot of my opinions on it. I think it's almost too much for the kids at that age.
Or you saw some of the pro players talking about they pulled their kids out of AAU. I sent you the video.
Yeah, you did. So here we go. Number 5. And this is a serious issue. I'm telling you this. Baseball, banana ball. I've watched more Savannah Banana games on ESPN this year than I've watched Major League Baseball games.
Yep.
They're fun. They're entertaining. They bring in back old celebrities. My kids love it. I think there is a real threat to baseball that this banana ball is going and selling out Major League stadiums, that the White Sox and the Royals and all these people can't even touch 10,000 people. And here comes Chance.
Now, I agree on this. I like banana ball better, but I don't think it's going to replace the actual sport. I think that's the whole point. This is entertainment.
Yes.
And I love the entertainment value because I hate baseball. I hate watching baseball for 4 hours.
Yes.
I would watch a game if it was only an hour and a half, maybe, stuff like that. But when you're even at a game or watching it on TV, 4 hours is too long for anything. They don't even make Marvel movies that long. So
yeah, I took my kids to the Yankees-Braves game last year, and it was miserable because they did not want to sit in the seat and watch the game. As much as I thought they were going to love baseball, they wanted to go around the stadium. Savannah Bananas, I've taken them to 2 games. They are intrigued. The music, the dancing, the guy on the stilts, the flame bat.
Now that, I do not want it to be like, oh, we have to start incorporating dancing into professional sports on the field. Like, no. You can start having stilts walkers in the crowd doing all that stuff. You can make it.
But football is entertaining. Basketball is constant action.
Exactly.
Baseball is not. So that's why I think this is why it's on my list, is because they're not going after a popular sport that's a constant action. They're going after a slow sport that has no action, and that's why I think the success has come from it.
And you're very right about that too. Throughout time, you'll see just how humans have developed our sense of need for everything. ADHD is common more than ever. It was a slower game back then because people didn't need as much to get them excited.
Yeah.
Now
they do.
Yeah. So.
All right, number 4. This is right up your alley. Youth tackle football, youth flag football. Youth flag football didn't even exist.
Nope, not in Alabama. At least it did. I found out people played it when we were young, but not here.
Youth flag football is awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that it has really taken over, not in our community, but a lot of communities. You know, I still, you got hurt when you played youth. I think people still love football, but I think flag, it's more of an open game. I've watched some of these young football games. One team has the ball one quarter, the other team, they can't block, they can't get execute a play. Flag is really upbeat, plays a run, good things. Guys are in open space.
I mean, I've still seen a lot of the flag games where the kid runs the wrong way and the coach is like,
very, very true.
They don't care.
But again,
they're kids.
I think it was maybe when we were growing up and before, 90%, 100% played football to 0. I think it's like 50-50 now. I'm telling you.
Well, so I agree on that too. A lot of the parents are more cautious about letting their kids get injured. Now, if you look back at all the times I played football as a kid, I only had one real injury. I had a couple breaks of stuff and stuff, but those things heal. The concussion in the neck was that one real injury. Okay. I learned from that. I worked out, rehabbed, all that. If flag football would have been an option for us, I would have played football and then in the off season played flag football instead of doing baseball or basketball.
Gotcha.
It wasn't an option, so I was a 3-sport athlete until junior high when I was just a 1 in track, basically. But flag football would have given you a different outlet. So I still think football will never be replaced, but I am happy that it's pretty much a split down the middle.
Well, and this is not pro or college or high school.
Even for youth.
This is youth.
Even for youth. I don't think it'll be completely replaced because you still have the kids who want to imitate what they see on Saturdays and Sundays.
For sure.
So
for sure.
I do think it'll still stick around, but the fact that flag's growing at such a fast rate is incredible. Yeah. And I do love that.
All right, number 3, this is right up your alley again, NASCAR to F1. I don't remember the last time I saw anything about NASCAR on ESPN. Yet I see a bunch of stuff about F1. What is the trend and why is this all going that way now?
For my opinion, NASCAR is just a slower developed of a boring race. It's a lot of the same circles. Some laps or some tracks are different, but F1 is higher speeds, more risk, and more money.
Okay.
If you see how much money is involved, just one of those cars is like 4.5 million or something like that. I don't think that's the same.
Well, I've just noticed, like I said, just watching, being a sports casual fan, there's always used to be stuff on Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt, and I don't see any of that on ESPN, and I see a lot about F1 now. So
I also think that had to do with the society we were a part of. F1 was more of a foreign sport.
Okay.
If you think about all the manufacturers that have their cars, Cadillac just now got a team in F1.
Yeah.
So I think it's been more of a foreign sport. NASCAR was kind of our version of racing as American culture, and now both of them. There's foreigners in NASCAR. It's great.
And going back to flag football, I'm interested to see when the Olympics come how the foreign teams will be with flag football. Is it something they play growing up, or how that'll be? So
they're good. They're good. I've already played against some teams from Mexico, and they're good. They're good.
It is kind of a form of soccer a little bit. Mm-hmm. Number 2, boxing, UFC. This has been going on
forever. That changed in the early 2000s.
Yes, but yeah, boxing still has these once in a lifetime fights and these big builds. I just feel like they never build up to what it is. They never, like, you know, I'm not just talking about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, but a lot of these fights, like, remember when Mayweather and Pacquiao fought, like Canelo and Crawford about to go. I just feel like they never do. But the UFC fights, I feel like every time you're going to get a pretty dang good result and something's going to happen. So, I mean, UFC has taken over boxing. I truly think that is a more popular sport now. But boxing comes in swings every now and then, but that has to be number 2 on my list.
And I agree on that too. It definitely has conquered the world of fighting.
Yes.
I was a big fan of UFC in the early days with Stephen Bonners and the Forrest Griffin fights and stuff like that. It's just gotten so... It's more like wrestling to me now. Like, they build it up, and then the fights are, okay, you got one pin, you got one submission, you got a knockout, okay. It's not 4 knockouts and bloody noses and all that stuff and cuts and everything. I kind of want it to go back to the old school, like, hey, this is a karate fighter fighting a drunken boxer fighter. Yeah. Like, I want it to be just, let's see which form of martial arts is better. Not someone who's trained in every form and then they just kind of...
And two, I think the Khabib realm has really changed the UFC, of that, like, them seeing that's become the successful way, the ground and pound, and a lot less standing up and just throwing hands, which me and you like a lot more. So.
But I was a boxing fan. Like, kickboxing is still a great sport too. It's not an American sport that we support very much. Yeah. So.
All right, and that leads to number 1. Pretty easy. We're watching Wimbledon right now. Probably the only time I've seen tennis this whole year. It's pickleball and tennis. Like, I've not seen a takeover like this. Everywhere I go, they're throwing up pickleball courts, and it's left and right. I mean,
so I have a
it's completely taken over, and nobody even uses tennis courts now.
So no, my opinion on that is tennis courts back. If you look in the
Mom's a tennis player, my sister's a tennis player, my dad was a tennis player.
60s, 70s, and 80s, tennis was the sport. That's why every country club, every city had their courts built. It wasn't a sport we grew up playing. No. It wasn't a sport we wanted to like go challenge our friends in all the time. It's an exhausting sport, and it takes a lot of skill. Pickleball. Half of all of that. So what can you do on a tennis court? We can convert that into 2 pickleball courts, and we can get people who wish they could actually play tennis a whole lot every day and have them pay money to go do basically the same thing at half the
less movement, still get a good workout. All ages can do it. Tennis is hard, man. Tennis is hard.
My mom still plays club tennis.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
My sister does too.
Jeez. So I know how hard it is for them. We were playing pickleball in a warehouse, dying just because of the heat, but like it was still easy to
easy and fun. Yeah.
So
I mean, I think pickleball you could play for 4 days and be a pretty good pickleball player. Tennis, you can't do that. Like, it is hard. The serving is so hard in tennis. I
think they just found a version of tennis that worked again for this generation, and they were like, here, let's do that. And you've got all the old tennis players that are coming to play pickleball. Too. So
but it's fun, very fun. So I thought it was one of my more intriguing top 5s. Interesting to see, like I said, but some take over, some not. Some sports like N1 have a little bit of a phase, and then they don't. They don't go back. I know a little bit more of a Harlem Globetrotter type thing. So, all right, Chance, happy birthday, early birthday. I hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll see you next week. Final answer is no longer Titan Tigers. I almost called it final answer. Titan Tigers. Football season closer. We're getting there. See ya.